over the shorter-term gain of indigenous breeds if we are to ensure that quality semen of these breeds is available to farmers to improve yields. But the much more difficult task we face is the delivery of AI service. Today, only about 20% of our breedable animals are covered by artificial insemination. This figure will have to rise to 50% by 2021-22. This means that the number of AIs carried out annually will need to rise from 40 million today to 135 million by 21-22. But more importantly, this AI service needs to be provided at the farmer's doorstep. Of the 66,000 AI centers operating today, the state governments are the largest providers of AI service. But this is through 45,000 stationary AI centers where animals have to be brought to the center for AI. It is essential that state governments put in place a time-bound program to convert these stationary centers into mobile ones, within a span of 2 to 3 years. This is certainly possible if there is the will. The AI service henceforth needs to be carried out by all the players, whether government, cooperative or private, in a much more professional manner. Starting with ear tagging for identification, a regular follow-up to check on conception, and reducing the number of AIs per conception from 3 to 4 AIs to 1 to 2. Ultimately, we need to aim at registered professional service providers who provide a service that is charged for, which has built into it accountability to the farmer, one that guarantees that her animal conceives and calves regularly and which grows to give a higher yield. Equally importantly, every inseminator must be required to collect certain essential data which needs to be captured in a central database. And this is possible today with the tools of IT at our command. Government needs to move out of bull production, semen production and AI delivery and assume a regulatory role. What is needed is a central regulatory authority and certification process to ensure that only proven quality bulls are used by all semen stations. It is time that semen is treated as a product similar to a drug and that its production and sale is regulated to ensure that only certified semen stations are permitted to market semen and all other semen stations are closed until they can improve and meet the required standard. It is time that the interests of millions of farmers does not continue to be subordinated to the demand of a few hundred employees. Only semen from certified semen stations should be permitted to be used by AI service providers. AI technicians should go through a proper training course by institutions registered with the state government and be permitted to operate only after they are registered. Without introducing this discipline, we are unlikely to see the substantial investment being proposed in genetic improvement leading to an increase in milk production at the pace required. State governments are of late encouraging the induction of milk animals through various schemes and concessional bank funding, which is contributing to an increase in production in these areas. The animals are generally supplied from far-off places through traders and frequently unscrupulous traders. I believe there is a case to encourage and incentivize the production of milk animals for sale. Farmers should be eligible for an incentive if they follow certain practices such as ear tagging, insemination, vaccinating, maintaining essential records, so that at the time of sale, the parentage and potential milk yield is known. Simultaneously, farmers will need to be educated about the information they need to seek before they purchase such animals at cattle fairs, and such transactions will then be between the buyer and the seller. Improved genetics of our milk animals will result in animals with a higher feed conversion efficiency. These animals will have to be fed adequately so that the benefit of higher genetic progress actually results in enhanced milk production. With feed costs continuing to rise, every effort will need to be made to improve the nutritive value of the ingredients already available for feeding, and future R&D must constantly focus on this. The various technologies already available for added value to feed need to be adopted by the industry and disseminated on a much wider scale. Moving away from feeding ordinary protein meals to bypass protein, feeding a bypass fat just before and after carving, area-specific minerals, ration balancing, to name a few. But the challenge is being innovative in reaching these technologies to our farmers. It is time now for government also to seriously consider the setting up of a feed regulatory authority. Plants manufacturing feeds, feed supplements and mineral mixtures should be registered. And it should be made mandatory that the label on every bag of feed produced